Have you ever heard of a traveler who journeyed farther than Marco Polo, farther than Zheng He, and even farther than Christopher Columbus, all in a time before airplanes, trains, or cars? Meet Ibn Battuta, the greatest traveler of the pre-modern world. His story isn't just about distance. It's a breathtaking epic of adventure, survival, and discovery that spanned nearly 30 years and covered an astonishing 120,000 kilometers. Born in Tangier, Morocco in 1304, a young man named Abu Abdullah Muhammad ibn Abdullah al-Awati al-Tanji ibn Battuta set out on a journey that would change his life and our understanding of the medieval world forever. At just 21 years old, his initial goal was simple: to complete the Hajj. It's a sacred pilgrimage to Mecca. He said goodbye to his family, expecting to be gone for a couple of years at most. Little did he know, he wouldn't see his homeland again for almost 3 decades. His journey began by trekking across North Africa. Imagine traveling on foot or by donkey or camel, through bustling cities and vast, empty deserts. He passed through modern-day Algeria, Tunisia, and Libya, finally reaching the great port of Alexandria in Egypt. This wasn't just a travelogue of places. It was an immersion into the heart of Islamic civilization. In Cairo, he was mesmerized by the sheer scale of the city, its magnificent mosques, hospitals, and colleges. He saw the great pyramids of Giza, monuments that were already ancient in his time. He was a scholar, and everywhere he went, he sought out other scholars, judges, and holy men, absorbing knowledge and wisdom. From Egypt, he finally made his way to Mecca, fulfilling his sacred duty. But for Ibn Battuta, this wasn't the end of the road. It was just the beginning. The world had opened up to him, and a powerful sense of wanderlust had taken hold. Instead of turning back west, he looked east. His next destination? The Mongol Ilkhanate, which covered modern-day Iraq and Iran. He journeyed to Baghdad, once the glorious capital of the Abbasid Caliphate, though it was still recovering from the devastating Mongol sack decades earlier. He marveled at the ruins and the resilience of its people. He then traveled through Persia, visiting cities like Isfahan and Shiraz, renowned for their beautiful gardens and poetry. But the road kept calling. Ibn Battuta decided to travel by sea down the coast of East Africa. He sailed on dhows, the traditional sailing vessels of the Indian Ocean, visiting the vibrant Swahili coast. He stopped in Mogadishu, which he described as an enormous city with many rich merchants. He continued south to Mombasa and Kilwa, a city so beautiful and well-constructed it deeply impressed him. He noted the wealth of these cities, built on the trade of gold, ivory, and spices, and the kindness of their Muslim sultans. After his African coastal tour, he sailed back to the Arabian Peninsula, journeying through Oman and the Strait of Hormuz. His travels were never easy. He was a man of faith, but he was also a man of action. He faced storms at sea, attacks by pirates, and was once left for dead by bandits in the desert. He was a judge, a diplomat, a mystic, and an advisor to sultans. He married multiple times and had children along the way. His life was a whirlwind of experiences. His next great adventure took him to Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, and from there, joined a caravan heading across the vast steppes of Central Asia. He journeyed to the lands of the Golden Horde, Mongol Khanate, and was so respected that he was even granted an audience with the Khan Uzbeg. In a truly remarkable side trip, he accompanied one of the Khan's wives, a Byzantine princess, on her journey home to Constantinople. For the first time, Ibn Battuta, a devout Muslim, stepped into the heart of the Eastern Christian Empire. He was awestruck by the size and grandeur of the Hagia Sophia. But his ultimate destination was India. He had heard tales of the immense wealth of the Sultan of Delhi, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, who was known for generously rewarding foreign scholars. After a perilous journey through the Hindu Kush Mountains, a path that he said could break one's neck, he finally arrived in Delhi. The Sultan was impressed by Ibn Battuta's extensive knowledge and travel experience and appointed him as a qadi, or a judge. For several years, Ibn Battuta lived a life of luxury and high office in the Sultan's court. But the Sultan was also known for his erratic and often cruel behavior. Living in his court was like walking on a knife's edge. After falling out of favor and fearing for his life, Ibn Battuta was given a chance to escape. The Sultan decided to send an embassy to the Yuan dynasty in China, and he appointed Ibn Battuta as his ambassador. This was his ticket out. However, disaster struck. On the way to the coast, his party was attacked by rebels, and he was robbed of everything. Then, the ship carrying all the gifts for the Chinese emperor sank in a storm. Fearing the Sultan's wrath, he couldn't return to Delhi, so he decided to continue his journey to China on his own. 8. He traveled to the Maldives, a chain of beautiful coral islands in the Indian Ocean. His legal expertise was in demand, and he was again appointed as a chief judge. He stayed for months, observing their unique culture, but eventually, local politics forced him to leave. He then continued eastward, visiting Sri Lanka, where he climbed the sacred Adam's Peak. He sailed through the Strait of Malacca, a major hub for the spice trade, before finally landing in China. He visited the bustling port cities of Quanzhou and Guangzhou, marveling at their size and the skill of their craftsmen, especially in creating porcelain. He traveled inland along a great canal, reaching as far as Beijing, the capital of the Mongol Empire. His descriptions of China are fascinating, though some scholars debate how much of the country he actually saw. He was impressed by its order and safety, but also felt like a stranger in a land where he didn't see many fellow Muslims. After nearly 30 years on the road, the pull of home was finally too strong to resist. Ibn Battuta began his long journey back to Morocco. When he finally arrived in his hometown of Tangier, he discovered that his parents had passed away years ago. It was a bittersweet homecoming. But his travels weren't quite over. He made one last trip, this time across the Sahara Desert to the Mali Empire in West Africa, visiting the legendary city of Timbuktu. Finally, in his early 50s, he settled down in Morocco. The Sultan, fascinated by his stories, commanded him to dictate his adventures to a scribe. The result was a book, a gift to those who contemplate the wonders of cities and the marvels of traveling, better known as the Rihla, or the Journey. Ibn Battuta's story is more than just a list of places. It's a window into a connected, cosmopolitan world in the 14th century, linked by faith, trade, and a shared Islamic culture. He was shipwrecked, ambushed by bandits, served sultans, and met countless fascinating people. He traveled 120,000 kilometers, visited over 40 modern-day countries, and crossed 3 continents. His legacy is one of boundless curiosity, incredible resilience, and an unshakable faith that carried him to the ends of the known world. His journey reminds us that the world has always been a place of wonder, waiting to be explored. Thanks for watching. If you were inspired by Ibn Battuta's incredible journey, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of the world's greatest adventurers. See you next time.